State called Detective J.J. Maher. If you can raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do swear.
You can put your hand down. Please state your true and correct name for the record.
Joseph James Maher.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm a detective with Henry County Police Department.
How long have you been a detective in the Henry County Police Department?
A little over 4 years.
And how long have you been with the Henry County Police Department?
Over 7 years.
And in 2015, what was your assignment?
General crimes.
And what did you do as a general crimes detective with the Henry County Police Department?
We worked all aspects of criminal investigations. We worked property crimes, personal injury, whatever came across our desk, whether we were responded to or assigned.
And I'm going to go ahead and bring you back to November 17th of 2015. Do you recall responding to a case on that particular day?
Yes.
And what was the nature of the call that you received?
It was a infant death call.
And when you responded, or when you got the call, where did you respond to?
I responded to Piedmont Henry Hospital.
What, if anything, did you do while you were at Piedmont Henry Hospital?
I met with the shift supervisor, not on call, but the sergeant on shift at that time. Spoke with him about the case, and then got my, well, what do you want to do next?
Okay, and what were your assignments related to this investigation?
After going up there and making contact with him, which was decided that we were going to do a search warrant at the location, the residence.
Okay. And when you do a search warrant at the location, was anyone, to your knowledge, was anyone at the location at that point?
As far as?
A police officer.
I believe the officer left once the ambulance left.
And did you do anything to have someone from your department go back to the home?
Yes, once we determined that we were going to do a search warrant for the residence, we sent the patrol officer back to the location, a secure location.
Okay. And do you recall the address of the residence that you searched?
Yes.
And what was that address?
1521 Lincoln Terrace, McDonough, Georgia, 30252.
And were you present during the search of that particular home?
Yes.
And was anyone else present for that search?
Yes.
Other officers?
Yes.
How about the defendants?
Yes.
Where were the defendants when the Henry County Police was? Well, first let me ask you this: did you get a search warrant for the home?
Yes, one was obtained.
And did you execute that search warrant?
Yes, I did.
What day did you execute that search warrant?
Same day.
So November 17th of 2015.
Yes.
Okay. And you said the defendants were present. Where were the defendants located?
They were inside the foyer in like a little, I guess, sitting area or small room inside the foyer to the right.
And was anyone with them?
Yes, the patrol officer.
Were they allowed to walk around the home during the execution of the search warrant?
No, they were not.
And why is that?
For security of evidence.
What was the purpose of you all responding to that location that evening with the search warrant?
Suspicious natures of the possible cause of death or injury to the child.
And were photographs taken?
Yes.
And were you present on scene when these photographs were taken?
Some of them, yes.
I want to show you what's been marked as states 234 through 301. Your Honor, with the exception of there will be no 247 or 251. I'm going to show you 234 through 301 and ask you if you recognize these particular photographs. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes.
What do you recognize them to be?
Photographs of the exterior of the house and then the interior of the house.
And do they fairly and accurately represent what you observed during the execution of the search warrant on November 17th of 2015?
Yes.
Have there been any modifications, alterations, or deletions to any of these photographs?
Not that I can tell.
Your Honor, at this time I'd move to admit states 234 through 302. Admit, I'm sorry, through 301. Detective Maher, I'm going to want to go through with you some of these, and if we can have the lights come down. some of the photographs that you can turn around. What are we looking at in states 234?
It's a chair next to the table with a booster seat chair, I mean, so to speak, a booster seat chair, so to speak, where you'd place a child to eat.
Based upon the information that you had when you were executing the search warrant, why was this photograph of interest?
The call out was reference to the child asphyxiating on food, and this is where she was sitting while she was eating.
States 235, what are we looking at here?
Same chair, just a little closer up.
And states 236?
Overall shot of the general area where the chair associated with the table and the kitchen and the plate.
Now you mentioned a plate. What are we looking at in 237?
That is the plate where the suspected chicken or the chicken nugget was.
Okay. So you had information regarding a chicken nugget or chicken tender?
Right, the original statement was that she was choking on a piece of chicken or a chicken nugget.
I want to show you 238. What are we looking at in 238?
A close-up picture of the plate and the chicken.
What are we looking at in 240?
It's a different angle of the table and what was on the table.
And is this just another angle in 241?
Yes.
Another angle in 242?
Yes.
Where is the high chair in this particular photo?
It'd be behind the table in the back corner. You see the corner of the blue part of the, yes.
This right here?
Yes, that'd be the top part of the chair.
In 243.
It's a overall picture of the floor where there was some clear fluid on the floor.
Okay. And the high chair is where?
To the right, you can see the orange and the blue on the right-hand side, upper right-hand corner.
Right there?
Yes.
In 244?
That is the back door open with the, I guess, the dog gate in place, so I guess the back porch.
Now, what are we looking at in states 245?
There'd be a closer up image of the fluid on the floor.
Now, why did you take this particular photo? Or why was this photo taken, I should say?
Reference to the choking statements, we believed it was spit up or bile from choking on the chicken from the child.
And to your knowledge, was anything swabbed or taken from this area?
Yes.
Showing you 246. What is this?
It's just a even closer up image of the fluid.
Now, what are we in 249? What are we looking at here?
Looks like the crime scene text evidence marker, and I believe it should be the same fluid.
Sure. Why did the crime scene tech put down an evidence marker?
The crime scene tech originally will do overalls of the entire scene, and then later she will take more photographs with markers to show what evidence to collect it from.
Okay. I'm going to show you 248. What are we looking at in 248?
Same picture. I believe there was 2 spots of possible fluid on the floor. One with evidence marker 1, one is evidence marker 2.
Okay. And so 250, we see evidence marker 1, correct?
Yes.
And is this was any kind of sample taken from this particular evidence?
I believe so, yes.
In 242, are we just looking at a what are we looking at here?
A different fluid spot.
I want to show you what's been admitted as State's Exhibit 253. What are we looking at in 253?
The sink and the kitchen counter.
Okay, if we were standing here in the kitchen, where would the high chair be in relation to where we're looking?
It'd be it's kind of an angle, so you'd be facing, the kitchen sink would be to the left in this image, and then to your right hand side in the other direction would be the kitchen table and the high chair.
And is this another photograph of the kitchen?
Yes.
Now, did you take any photographs from the inside of the sink? Or any photographs taken of the inside of the sink?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been admitted as states 255. What are we looking at, at 255?
The sink and the contents.
And 256?
Close-up of the sink and the contents, and the markers reference to the butter knife.
Now, was there ever any evidentiary value in the butter knife?
Not that I had personal knowledge of.
Not that you had personal knowledge of? Do you know if the knife was ever collected?
Yes, the knife was collected.
Okay. And do you recall why the knife was collected?
Statements reference to the butter knife being used to clear the obstruction from the child's throat.
In states 257, what are we looking at here?
That's just a close-up of the knife.
And are we also looking at the plate?
I believe so, possibly the little pieces on the plate. I think mostly it was for the knife.
Now, were the pieces on the plate, were those collected for evidence?
No, they were not.
And why is that?
Food would deteriorate, rot, and biodegrade.
What are we looking at in states 258?
It's the opposite side of the kitchen.
And 259?
Just another overall shot of the kitchen dining area.
And is this kind of, just to reorient us, is this the high chair we were talking about previously?
Yes, and the kitchen sink would be directly 90 degrees to the left.
States 260. Where are we looking at here on states 260?
It's a close-up of a child's spoon and looks like a napkin.
And states 261, can you see kind of where that spoon is located in this more wide-angle view?
Yes.
All right, and is this it?
Yes.
Now, did you also take some photographs from the exterior of the home?
Yes.
Were they taken that night?
Yes.
I'm going to show you 262. What are we looking at in states 262?
It would be the right side of the home. If you're facing the front of the house, it would be the right side of the home.
Okay. How about states 263?
Looks like more of a straight-on angle of that same side.
264.
Fence and a gate into the fence.
How about states 265?
This will be facing the front of the house. It'll be the left side of the house.
So this is the other side of the other side of their yard?
Yes.
Okay. And then 266?
The front end angle and a picture of the window.
Now, did you also get photographs from other areas of the interior of the home?
Yes, overall photographs of the entire interior of the house was taken.
We'll go through some of those with you. This is states 267. What is 267?
It's a photo of just inside the foyer looking straight into the house.
How about 268?
That would be, I guess, the living room, common area,
And 269?
close-up of an end table in the living room.
States 270.
Another angle of the living room focusing on the couch and coffee table.
And states 271.
Different angle, same room.
Now, what I'm pointing to right here, what is the right there?
Those are stairs because it's the living room recesses down from the main foyer.
Is that a high distance?
Or sorry, that's the kitchen.
That's the kitchen?
Yeah, because we're looking at the couch is up against the wall, coffee table, and to the right of this image would be the linoleum for the kitchen. So it's a step up to the kitchen.
How about 272?
It's from the living room area shooting towards the kitchen.
And the stairs that we were just looking at, where would they be located?
To the left of that chair and the big chair on the left side of the picture.
States 273, just another angle of the living room.
Yes.
What are we looking at 274?
This is, as soon as you walk in the main entrance, there's, I guess, an official dining area set up to the left of the foyer. This is from that area shooting to the right where the Rosenbaums were sitting.
And states 275?
The other door from that room shooting towards the living room.
And 276,
Kitchen area and part of the living room.
so we just kind of come full circle at this point.
Some of the first floor.
Okay. 277, what is that?
The stairs leading to the second floor.
Okay. And what is this that's on the stairs?
Carpeting.
278,
Upstairs hallway.
you recall what we were looking at in states 279,
Appears to be the master bedroom.
280.
The same master bedroom.
Did you take several photographs from the interior of the master bedroom?
Yes.
We were looking at in 281.
The right side, facing the foot of the bed, the right side of the bed and master bedroom.
I'm going to skip over to 284. What are we looking at here?
Part of the headboard slash nightstand, whatever you want to call it, and the contents on it.
And is this also that same part of the bed?
Yes.
And this is the contents, correct?
Yes.
Now that kind of white bottle where the label isn't facing us, was a photograph taken of that particular bottle?
Yes.
What are we looking at in page 286?
That bottle.
And what is that bottle?
That's icy hot pain relief.
What are we looking at in 287?
Upstairs bathroom.
And in states 288?
The same bathroom, focusing on the counter.
All right. Was there another room that you also took photographs in upstairs?
Yes.
What are we looking at in 289?
It's a small, I don't really call it a room, but it's part of the master bedroom. It's just a set aside area, I guess. It's all open, there's no doorway, it's just one big open room.
So this is kind of in the master bedroom but set aside?
Yes.
Okay. And what are we looking at in here?
Small love seat with blankets and other items.
Now, was that the same room that we were just looking at in states 289?
As far as the master bedroom?
Yes. Is this the same room? 289?
Yes.
Okay. 291?
Close up of the love seat.
292?
It's a close up of the blankets and the love seat.
And were some of these items that we're looking at collected?
Yes.
All right. And what items were collected, if you recall?
I believe we took the baby or the child's blanket, would appear to be child's blanket, and I'm not going to recall if we took the large brown one or not.
In states 293, what are we looking at?
Different angle of that adjoining room.
Okay. Now, was anything found in this particular room that you took into evidence?
Yes.
I want to show you states 294. What are we looking at in states 294?
You can't tell from here, but it was a small tube of pain ointment.
Okay. Showing you states 295. Is this the photograph of that ointment?
Yes.
And what does it say on there?
Pain relief, muscle pain, and stiffness.
What else?
Arnicare gel. Let's see, quickly absorbed, unscented, non-greasy. I can't quite make out the other ones.
But at the top, you said
Yeah, muscle pain and stiffness, swelling from injuries and bruising.
Page 296. What is this room?
The child's room. Or excuse me, the children's room.
What do we see in states 297?
A close-up of, I guess, their desk area.
Okay. And over here, what are these things over here?
Look like toys or books or storage area.
Okay. How about states 298? What are we looking at in states 298?
Different angle of the kids' room, toys and play items and whatnot.
States 299.
Same room, I want to say it's possibly the closet.
Okay. And over here, these are the toys that you were talking about?
Yes,
And they have more toys over here?
yes.
Now, when you are done with a search warrant, do you leave any sort of paperwork for the residents of the home?
Yes, there's a property and evidence sheet that's filled out, and it has the items notarized, or not notarized, but the items listed on that sheet. Then a copy is left with the homeowner or resident.
Okay. And states 300. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yes, they documented that a copy was left behind.
And states 301. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yes,
So it's 300 and 301. These were all the items that were taken from the home. Is that correct?
yes.
You mentioned some. You mentioned that there were some things that were collected as items of evidence. Is that correct?
Yes.
I want to show you what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit 302 for identification purposes. Do you recognize State's 302?
Yeah, I can see it just, yes, it's one of our markers and evidence.
And was this an item, were these items of evidence that were collected by you during the search of this home?
The crime scene tech actually collected them, but I was present when they were collected.
Okay, and were they placed into this bag?
Yes,
Were they sealed?
yes,
And is that common procedure?
yes.
Why is it common procedure to seal the bag?
Chain of custody and confirm there's no tampering with evidence.
Okay. And these were the items that were taken from the house that night?
Yes, some of the beddings and blankets and towel.
So yeah, tell us what items are in here.
It should be a piece of bedding / blanket, another bedding and blanket, and a towel.
And were these some of the items that we saw when we went through all the crime scene photographs?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move into evidence State's 302.
No objection.
Let's leave this up here with you for right now, okay?
Okay.
Now, you mentioned that there were some swabs that were taken from some of the areas in the home, correct?
Yes.
And I think that was markers 1 and 2.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 304. Do you recognize State's 304?
Yes, it's an evidence bag. Markers are swabs.
And you said swabs?
Yes,
Okay. And were those the swabs that were taken from the scene?
I believe so. Without seeing the other stuff, yes.
Okay. And were you present on scene when these swabs were taken?
Yes.
And they were taken of those photographs that we saw previously?
Of the clear fluid, yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move into evidence State's 305.
No objection.
Submitted.
4.
Oh, sorry, 304.
304 submitted.
Thank you. Now, you also mentioned that there was a gel that was taken. We saw that just very recently. States 295, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as States 305 for identification purposes. Do you recognize States 305?
Yes.
And what do you recognize it to be?
The item description being of that container of gel ointment.
And was this something that was collected at the scene on that particular night?
Yes.
Right. And was it placed into an evidence bag?
Yes.
Was it sealed?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I would move to admit State's Exhibit 305.
No objection, Your Honor.
Submitted 305.
Can you go ahead and open that particular item? And if you can show it to the jury. You can put it back in the bag.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to show you what you previously marked as states 303. You recognize states 303.
Yes, it's going to be the knife from the kitchen.
And I'm going to put up onto this screen State's Exhibit 256. Is this the same knife that we are talking about?
Yes.
And was that knife collected on November 17th of 2015?
Yes.
Was it placed into an evidence bag?
Yes.
And was it sealed?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I would move to admit States 303 into evidence.
No objection.
Admitted.
Do you know if any further testing was done on that knife by the GBI?
After the fact.
Obviously, not that night, correct?
Yeah, no tests were conducted that night.
Okay. And part of the reason why you collect evidence is to potentially do some further testing down the road, is that correct?
Yes.
And would that be correct for States 303, the knife, and States 304, the swabs?
Yes.
Now, did you have any other role in this particular investigation?
Neighborhood canvas afterwards, but other than that, no.
And what do you mean, sorry, what do you mean by neighborhood canvas?
We're assigned to walk around the neighborhood, talk to the neighbors, see if they heard, seen, or saw anything.
Okay. And did you collect any statements from talking to any neighbors?
No.
Nothing further.
Thank you, cross.
And we have a moment to